Page 32, Lullaby Angel. Well, let's see. It's 2 pages long. Wow, it's much longer than usual. Treble bass clef, no sharps or flats in the key signature, so we're either in C major or A minor. If we look at the end, with that mess at the end, that is actually this. Well, that's not a C major or A minor. Oh, isn't it lovely? Look at the measure before, though. Here, I'm guessing we're in A minor here. Actually, I think it's going to go back and forth, C major and A minor, because a lot of pieces will do that. Because you can go from A major to A minor very nicely. It's the same key signature. It fits very well harmonically together. It sounds like it starts in C major. But then when you get over toward the end, it kind of sounds like maybe it's a little more in minor here. A minor? Yeah, it's hard to tell. Do the scales for both, though. C major and A minor. Yeah. 3/4 time signature, one hand at a time. Right hand, you're here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Oh, this is fun. Measure 5, you got 2 beats to come down here. I still stretch first and then come down. I want to feel my way around, but you can lift up and move if you'd rather. And measure 9, you got 1 beat to come up here. I'm not crazy about that fingering, but go ahead. Okay, measure 17, you're down here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. They went 3rd finger. Can if you want to, you don't have to. You can stay there and use 5th finger. But in measure 21, you need to be up here with thumb. Okay. Let's go down to measure, what, 28? We're down here. C sharp. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, that's all that is. Okay. And then the last measure, it's an F and a G. But there's a sharp sound in both, so we go up. That's what they wanted. That's what they wrote. It's not my fault. It's okay. Left hand, you're here. 2, 3, tie 2, 3, and a beating together. Tie 2, 3. You don't need the finger numbers. Don't be reading finger numbers. Just read the notes. It's a G and an A together there on measure 7. And it's hard to tell the way it is, that curved line. That actually applies to the G. So hold the G down, just play the B. It's really hard to tell the way it's written, but that's what they want. Here, and then back here. And then measure, what, 11, that's B flat. Okay. Measure 16, you're down here. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, you can do all that. That's fine. The bottom of page 33, the last measure, that is a B and a C. And the C has a sharp, so it's here. And then after all that, well, then we'll put the hands together and here. And I'll hesitate, but that's okay. From measure 7 to 8. Here, hold the G down, it's tied, just change these, those 2 notes. Here. And then you can go on, I guess. So at the end, the last measure, again, all of those together, isn't that lovely? All right. After I get the hands put together, then I'll go back over it slowly and get rid of any hesitations. And only work on those spots where you're hesitating. Don't keep playing it all. After you get rid of the hesitations all over, then you play it all and check. Are they really gone? Chances are they're not. You got to work on them some more. But don't keep playing it all. That's a really inefficient way to practice. Then I add the articulation. This is very connected here. You have to lift up for the rest, so the phrasing is built in for you. Now, going from measure 8 to 9, you have to lift up the right hand, you have a rest, but I'm going to connect the left hand, because the melody's in the right hand. measure 17, connect the left hand here, connect all of that together. At the bottom, the last two lines on page 33 here, connect the left hand. Connect that. You can't connect that at the last two measures. That's okay, that pedal will help out. Then the dynamics, and it applies to the melody. Here, mezzo piano sort of soft. This is soft. You get a swell there. Ba-da-dum-bum. So you put in a few swells here and there. Top of page 33, you get the hairpin. You're going to go from sort of soft to sort of loud. Well, I don't know about that. You can come down to soft if you want. To start measure 21, it's soft if you want. And then for measure 23, 4, and 5, each measure gets just a hair louder. Louder, louder. Now I'm moderately loud. See, the left hand is in the background. I'm talking melody here is what I'm doing. The right hand is soft, louder, louder. Now moderately. So the left hand's got to stay out of the way. And at the end, then you go down to soft. And very soft, that's both hands. There's no melody in that mess. It's just a chord. Yeah. Then the speed. Flowing. Well, that's helpful. 1, 2, 3, 1. So the dotted half notes are going to speed it up, but the quarter notes, they're going to slow it down. You got to think about those. And then when you get to the eighth notes, you don't want to be going too fast. But it all needs to be at one speed until you get to measure 26. You get a writ. You're going to slow down. I don't know how much. You feel it. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then measure 30, after the double bar lines, you get a tempo 1. Okay, let's talk about tempos, speeds. At the beginning it says flowing, which is one tempo, whatever it is, I'm not sure. But at measure 21, you get another tempo, says a little faster. So you're going to play this a little faster at measure 21. So if I'm going 1, 2, 3 at the beginning, I'm speed up just a little bit. And then I get a tempo 1 there at measure 20. Tempo 1 means go back to the first speed you were playing at the beginning. This says original speed, that's fine. So whatever you were doing at the beginning, that's what you go back to here. Now, there's also an indication called an a tempo. A tempo means resume the speed you were going before you changed it. Well, if this were an a tempo, we would go back to whatever speed we were going at measure 21. When we sped up, that's the speed we'd go back to. We don't want that. We want the actual speed from the very beginning, and this tempo 1 is what that's for. Some books get this a little confusing because they'll give it an a tempo and they'll say, go back to the first speed, or go back to the original speed, or something like that. A tempo doesn't mean that. A tempo means go back to the speed you were going before you changed it. Tempo 1 means go back to the original speed, or the speed at the beginning. It's important. And in case you're curious, those double bar lines, so do we not talk about double bar lines? They're simply indicating leaving one section of music and going into another. It's like chapters in a book. You can have sections in a piece. So it's actually like in 3 sections, because you got double bars at the bottom of page 32. So page 31 is one section. And then when you speed it up, it's another section. It's a different melody. See, we got this at the beginning. And this, then at measure 21, it's a different one. It's different. So it's a different section. And then at measure 30, it's another section, which is similar to the first section, sort of. it's sort of a combination of the first section and the second combined, because you're here. But then when you get to measure 38, you're back similar to the way you were in the second section. However, you're not speeding up. You're just keeping the same speed. It makes it another section. So it's actually an ABC is what we call it, because we identify the sections with letters, starting with A, and you just kind of go through. So the first one is A, and then top of page 33, that's section B, and then measure 30, that's section C. So it's 3 sections. Now we can use sections when practicing and learning a piece of music because you can do it by section. Get section A down really well, and then put it aside, stop playing it for a while. Then do section B and concentrate on only section B. Get that well, then put it aside and do section C. And then when you get all the sections, you can go back and put them all together. You'll still be able to play the other sections. Some people will start from the end and go forward. So they'll do section C first. They'll learn that first. And then section B and then section A. Doesn't matter which way you go. It's just you're dividing the thing up into smaller pieces to make it easier to concentrate on. You don't always want to keep playing the whole thing through. That is a waste of time. It really is when you're trying to learn it. Focus on bits and pieces, and you can do that with sections. So I got off here. It's tempo. We're back to the original. Whatever. And there's a red at the bottom where you're going to slow down. Don't slow down a whole lot, because then the last measures just last forever. And you don't want to have to listen to that forever. Ugh. And the fermata lets you listen to it forever. Isn't that lovely? So you just hang on to it for a while. If I do it with a metronome, I'll hold it for 6 counts instead of 3, and then let go because I don't want to listen to it anymore. Now, on top of all that, they've added pedal. So what is pedal doing? Here, I think it's more of a special effect. We're just going to kind of smear this, because that's what it's doing. It's smearing it up. It's legato pedal. So I'll put the notes down first and then the pedal. Change the pedal after I play the notes. And I'm changing the pedal. Is like with the harmony. Every time this changes, I change the pedal. That's what I'm doing. Otherwise, I'm smearing it. I'm smearing this melody completely. That's the effect they want. Fine, go for it. Some pieces do that. If you wanted a clean melody, you couldn't pedal it hardly at all because you'd smear up the melody, everything you're doing it. But we can do it this way. It's okay. Really, it's fine. Let's play this together slowly and check the notes and the rhythms. I'll give us 3 counts. I can't do a different speeds. We have to do it all at one speed. That's okay. I'm not going to do the pedaling because it's pretty straightforward with the pedaling. You're just overlapping everything. And you can hear the notes better without the pedal. So I'll give us 3 counts. 1, ready, go. 2, 3, 2, 3. 3. 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 3. 1, 2. 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Hold.